If you want to save 5% off on your next LEGO purchase, be sure to use code LIFEBRICK, that's capital L-I-F-E BRICK, at republicbricks.com for 5% off your next order. It'll pretty much pay for your shipping or get you a couple dollars off. They sell old LEGO minifigures, sets, mystery boxes, and more. I've got a couple videos on my channel showing the products, so be sure to use code LIFEBRICK on your next order for 5% off. Welcome back, everybody, to another top 10 video. In today's video, I'll be counting down the top 10 ugliest LEGO Star Wars minifigures. Again, this is all my personal preference and my personal opinion as well, so don't take any of this to heart if you guys like these minifigures. And again, this is just a fun little topic right here, just kind of going over some of the worst designed LEGO Star Wars minifigures that have ever come out. I've got 10 of them right here. Again, some could argue that some of these aren't as bad as others, but here's my top 10 list. So starting off number 10, guys, we do have Kit Fisto. And again, honestly, I don't think he's that ugly. I don't think the character of Kit Fisto is ugly or bad looking. I just think the LEGO minifigure that we got of him did not really do him justice, mainly just because of the lack of printing and just kind of the lack of the head mold for the time when he came out. But in general, I gotta say, I think a little remake of Kit Fisto is more than welcome. If we were to get one in the next couple of years, hopefully we do, maybe for the Clone Wars, something like that. I would think a remake of Kit Fisto would be in LEGO's plans, at least in the next couple of years, but that's number 10. Moving on to number 9, guys, we have Watto from 2010. And yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to lie, I think the printing and the mold itself is good, but just in general, I gotta say, Watto is definitely not the most pretty LEGO Star Wars character, or Star Wars character in general. But I do definitely gotta say they really nailed it on the head. You know, the 2010 version with how accurate it looks. But again, accuracy doesn't mean it looks the best and looks the prettiest. So that's why I got to give Watto the number 9 spot. Moving on to number 8, guys, we have, I think it's Quay Tolsite. And he's from the Kessel Run Millennium Falcon. He's the pike species from that set. And I thought they would have done the pikes a whole lot differently. I really do not like how they executed the Quay guy. Just compared to the Clone Wars, and just I get it was a little bit more different style and design in Han Solo, or the Solo movie compared to the Clone Wars. But for a pike species, I think they could have done a lot better. And I think he's kind of ugly with the you know, kind of blocky head and the blocky sloped you know, legs with the head inside the hood kind of thing. So I got to give him number 8. Number 7 and number 6 kind of go hand in hand, but number 7 is the original Gamorrean Guards. Again, just for the lack of printing and just lack of what they did back then, I definitely got to say there were some ugly looking figures. I got to say, even the newer ones, I think look a little bit more appealing, I guess, even. You know, they look a lot more accurate, and in this case, it does actually make them look a lot more appealing compared to the original ones. And then that's why, moving on to number 6, guys, we have the original Bib Fortuna. And this just looks like a nightmare, honestly. This is pretty scary, and this actually might be coming up on a list in October of the top 10 most spooky LEGO Star Wars minifigures. Definitely running some of those minifigures on that list for his money right now. I might have to throw this one on there. But that is number 6, guys. Moving on to number 5. We do have the Ugnaughts. Again, these came in the carbon freezing chamber. Again, pretty accurate for what it is, but I gotta say, definitely in universe and in LEGO, some ugly characters. So that's why I gotta give the Ugnaughts the number 5 spot. Moving on to number 4, I gotta give this to maybe the Pow character from Rogue One. Again, accurate to what it is, but that face is pretty terrifying, especially when you flip it around. Pretty terrifying face. But definitely a cool character from Rogue One. I definitely gotta give Rogue One the number 1 rating out of all these new Disney Star Wars movies, but Pow is definitely not you know, too lovely of a character. Then moving on to number 3, guys, we have Supreme Leader Snoke, and yeah, just a pretty weird looking guy, pretty awkward looking outfit, I gotta say. Not really sure why he chose that. And then again, hopefully in episode 9 we get a little bit more backstory for him. Maybe just kind of part of the reason why he looks so ugly. Maybe that could be a nice, you know, getting to know his history in episode 9 on why he wears the bathrobes and why he has the face he does. So hopefully we find that out. But until we do, that's why he's on at number 3 on this list. Moving on to number 2 and number 1, they kind of go hand in hand as well. But number 2's got to be Gascano from the old pod racing sets. And these top 2 minifigures are horrendous. Again, these aren't even necessarily scary. They're just horrendous for what they tried to do. I get back in the early 2000s, late 1999, they did not have all the molding and printing techniques they do now. But I think they could have done something a little bit differently than how they did my man Gascano, and then also number 1, Aldar Beto. Definitely did not do these guys any justice. A couple of the worst looking minifigures I've ever seen in Lego, not even just Star Wars. I think they really just killed these characters in Lego. I mean, at the time, again, I don't really think anyone was really complaining, but definitely looking back, I mean, when you're just comparing it to a couple of the molds and a couple of the prints they have now, they are some very, very ugly minifigures. So closing out this video, guys, I know this is pretty opinionated, kind of a funny video, not to be taken too seriously, but just kind of going over what I think some ugly minifigures are in the Star Wars universe for Lego. If you guys have any different opinions or ideas, leave them down below. I'd love to hear it. Again, of course, there's probably a couple I missed, just for the fact of, there's over, what I think, 700, or if not over 1,000 Lego Star Wars minifigures made so far. So again, it would have taken a couple hours to really go through every last one, and even just searching stuff up. It's hard just to for all of them to come in front of me. So for what I could see, what I could remember, I gotta definitely say this is in my top 10 for this list. But again, guys, if you guys have anything different, leave a comment down below. And until next time, guys, I want to thank you guys all for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. See you guys later. Bye.